So today I have a shoot. We're shooting some vertical content. It's basically a proof of concept. So follow along and yeah, let's see what we do. I typically like to give my son a morning walk before I head off to work. So I'm gonna try to give him I don't work every day, but when I have shoots, I try not to miss a day. On days when I'm not working, it's pretty easy to go out and go for a walk. But on the days that I work, I either try to go before or after. Just get some exercise, and it's just nice to spend some time hanging out with this guy. We're gonna have some good weather for this. It's mostly exterior shots today, so it should be nice and clear. Should look good. I'm gonna go and grab a coffee right now. But pretty much what this shoot is it's like spec work. We're making this vertical show. It's basically just like 2 scenes, just proof of concept, so that we can show it to another production company that does more vertical stuff and just be like, hey, we're your team. We can shoot this kind of stuff. So if you guys need anybody, this is what it looks like, you know. You need a lot of that kind of stuff nowadays.
If you know me, you know that I love coffee, and just as a new dad, I need caffeine in general just to keep on going through the day. And if you want to support me, or you're a fan of the channel and you want to buy me a coffee, there's a link in the description where you can do that, and it's greatly appreciated.
Yeah. You doing okay? Yeah, what's up? What's up? I love you. Okay, let's go. Oh, it's good.
So once we got to the location, this was kind of our setup. We had a camera cart that was kind of just loaded up with everything we were using for the day. We're shooting on the Blackmagic 6K Pro in this vertical orientation. Got a bunch of crafty and snacks going on, coffee and whatnot. We're trying out this plate, which is basically like a vertical cheese plate that puts your camera into a vertical orientation. I was using my Condor Blue multi-tool to get all those little hex screws in. Came in pretty handy. I always carry this little Condor Blue multi-tool. Just makes for a easy time on set. Also, we were trying out this small rig tripod. Like I mentioned later in the video, I actually used these on a couple of podcasts. These carbon fiber small rig tripods. So yeah, once I got the orientation of the camera, it was all built out. I got there a little bit early, so I was just getting everything set the way it needed to be. This is all Christian's gear. He's the one who kind of set this whole shoot up. He's pretty much the director in this sense, director, producer. So this is his camera, his kit, all his, equipment, and we're shooting at his location. So he's providing all the crafty and everything, and just kind of made the whole thing come together. So I'm not super familiar with all his equipment, so I'm just taking an extra time to see how he has it all set up and if he has any preferences. We're using the Hollyland. It's not the Pyro, but it's like the first generation 5-inch transmission monitor. We have this ZG Cine like shark fin going on in the back that's powering our whole rig off of 2 V mounts. And we got this Polar Pro matte box with the VND system. And then that whole camera package is going to go onto the Dana Dolly. We rented this Dana Dolly for the day with these, I believe they're 10-foot rails or maybe 12-foot rails. Christian was able to fit those in the back of his pickup truck. So that worked out. And a couple of lowboys, and it was fairly affordable. I think it was only like $45 to rent it for the day, so that wasn't too bad. Typically, I don't set up Dana Dolly like this. I usually do it on the ground, but since I was all by myself, I felt like it was a little bit easier than having to bend over every time. But yeah, usually easier to put it on the ground.
Yeah, I actually really like this.
Small rig. So what I don't like about it is it doesn't go very low.
Oh yeah, but that's a lot of the newer,
Yeah.
like the software ones you guys have. It's supposed to open up all the way, but it's got such a big profile.
Yeah.
I might as well just get a smaller, like a small hi-hat.
You get a hi-hat at that point. But if you don't want to have a bunch of stuff with you very far away.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, I was doing a podcast and I bought 4 of those.
Good.
I got 4 of those and they were like, oh, because they're sitting on a couch. I'm like, oh, it's too, we want to be lower than that.
It might be a 75.
This one?
This is 100.
And as far as audio goes, we were just running 2 lavaliers into the DJI Mic 2, and we just had that running into camera, and we just mic'd up our 2 actors, and I was just monitoring with some headphones. Pretty easy.
I'll go for one.
So this is our first setup, and we just basically had this car. She's getting out of the car a couple times. Wasn't any dialogue. She's just mad and coming inside. Just a little bit of a camera movement with the dolly, and just got a few takes. Pretty easy. The most challenging thing was just really keeping her in frame because we were, shooting vertical, so it was pretty tight to get the camera movement.
Okay, camera speeds.
If you guys are liking this vlog style content so far, go ahead and give this video a like. It really helps to grow the channel. So one good thing was the actors that we were working with were actually professional actors, so it was nice to just have them be like on point and know their lines, and they're just really good. And they're actually trying to do vertical content as well. They've actually been in a few of the verticals.
Catch that? So this isn't the scene. The scene isn't the scene where she lands. Yeah. Okay.
So we actually were filming 2 different scenes, and they're both fairly short, but they connect together. And if you ever shot any of these verticals, or even watched any of these verticals, they really don't make a lot of sense. They're really over the top. So that's kind of what we were going for. It's always like the rich billionaire and the love triangle kind of thing. So in this setup, we were doing just some like in the car. She receives some phone calls, and then she's going to get like some text messages, and we're going to go in and get some inserts on a different day of like over the shoulder of the hands and things like that. Actually really enjoyed using these Hollyland wireless monitor. I'm used to using like a transmitter, like a Teradek or something like that, or DJI SDR system, and having like an extra piece of hardware hanging off the kit that needs to be, rigged and whatnot, and it's just like an extra little gadget that you have to deal with. So being able to have a monitor that's actually doing the transmitting, it's kind of 2-in-1, so that was kind of nice. And the director was able to look on his phone and kind of see that vertical feed. After that, we moved into the courtyard here for this like confrontation scene, and we just threw up this flag to just kind of block out the sun off of the monitor and kind of shade me here. It was a far side key. We had the sun going down, creating that like nice glow in the sky. It was a hair light on the one actor and sort of like a key on the other. We're still on this dolly, Dana dolly, 12 foot. We got kind of basic coverage. We should started off with singles on each, and then close-ups as well. I think we just did like basic coverage. We did like a single on each, and 2 close-ups, and then a master wide shot, so 5 shots. And just basic what we needed to cut the scene together. And then we brought this little like Matthews Road flag in again for the close-ups to add a little bit more contrast, some neg fill on the far side, and that looked pretty good, just to sweeten things up a little bit. And then once we got the single on our one girl, we flipped around and we got the reverse coverage, and we're just moving this dolly around because it was a little bit too sidey. It was sort of like a profile on her, so we just wrapped it around so we could get on the other side of her nose there and be able to see both of her eyes. And then we did the exact same thing with this flag. It's like a little 2x3. We just brought that in. A little bit more neg fill on her for her close-up. And then at this point, we were kind of losing our light. And so we brought this MT Pro in, and we had the egg crate, little LCD modifier on there. We set that to 2700 or about 3000, what the sunset was giving us. And we just pushed that onto her hair there. Again, it's vertical, so you can get real close in with the neg fill and with lights and things like that. And that's kind of one of the benefits of shooting vertical, is you can get things close on the sides of the frame. Then we moved over to our master. And at this point, we were having some issues with the lavalier mics. The DJIs were coming unplugged and had to be kind of re-rigged. And we're pulling on some clothing. We had some clothing rustle, things like that. Just, typical lavalier problems. Even though we were using like the little riot coat stickies inside of the clothing, we were still getting a little bit of clothing rustle. What we did to kind of mitigate that, as you can see here, Christian has one of the DJI mics actually positioned on the matte box. So that's pretty cool. He's actually just kind of using it like a shotgun. He's recording 32-bit internal right there off of the front of the matte box and sort of like acting like a little shotgun. So it can always cut away to that if there's like some scratchiness with the lavs or necklaces or clothing rustle. Anyways, guys, hopefully you enjoyed that behind the scenes look at this vertical video stuff that I was doing. Once again, I'm Scott Stevenson. Thanks for watching. Feel free to check out some of my past videos as well as subscribe to see my future ones. Peace.